Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us again here on Quick Shifts channel. Today we're going to go on a little bit of a road trip out to Charlotte, North Carolina, and we've made a reservation for the Touchless reservation, if you will, with Tesla to test drive the Model Y today. So they don't tell us what version of the Model Y we're going to get, so we're going to just head up there and see what we get with that. But we had to fill out several forms, provide your insurance and your driver's license and all that via email back and forth, so it's completely touchless. And we're going to go up there and see what car they have and what version they give us and how we like it. So come join us for the ride and let's see what this is all about. So the Tesla Model Y is a 316-mile range. Currently they have two versions of the car out. Both are dual motor. One is the long range and one is the performance edition of it. Now, there are added fees to be tagged on for different colors and so forth, but right now the starting base price is $52,990, and if you go with that's for the long range, and the performance model is $60,990. Now, as you add colors, the color price can change from $1,000 for the black, gray, and I believe the blue, and the red is a $2,000 add-on. And then like the Model 3, if you do the colored interiors, you can add $1,000 for the white interior, or the base black interior comes in the price. But right now they only have those versions. There is going to be a cheaper version released later, just like the Model 3 is done. But we're in no way Tesla experts, so bear with us. I'm sure we'll say some things that aren't acceptable in the Tesla language or vocabulary. But you guys can go ahead and point those out and mark those in the comments. I know you guys love to do that, but stick with us. Alright guys, so it looks like we got the dual motor Model Y, and that's what we're going to be test driving today. I'll shoot some footage of that and talk to you guys about it. So this dual motor is not a performance, but it does have the upgraded wheels, and what I really like is this color and the blacked out accents, the wheels being blacked out on both the door handles. Also they black this out, they take the chrome away from it, but this color with the blacked out, I mean, this is just great. I really love this. It looks fantastic. If I was going to pick one of these up, I would probably lean towards this color if I could get it. Now I did see some red ones on the lot, and personally I like the red as well, but these are great. This is a fun little driver. It's got plenty of get up and go, even in just this dual motor non-performance, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it in the video here. But this is a great drive. It's been a great experience. Walking into the place was great, and we really like the people out here in the Charlotte Tesla. So the inside, the screen works just like the Model 3 screen. These controls are the same, and you press the button selections and manipulate your keypads on here to arrange your mirrors how you'd like them. All of that's the same as the Model 3. And when we got in this one, we have proof that it's been sanitized, but you can definitely tell by the smell that this has been sanitized. And if you look at the fittings here, you can see that there are still markings and everything on the trim from them wiping it down. So thank you, Tesla, for doing that. We really appreciate that. But we're gonna get going here. We'll be able to show you guys some of the functions in here as we're driving around. Again, this is the Model Y long range dual motor. This one has about 3,000 miles on it, and driving this around for you guys. The Charlotte Tesla is a great location. It's a very big lot and it's well laid out, and the people there are great. However, when you're pulling out of it, it's on a main stretch down in Charlotte that's very busy, and you end up sitting in a lot of traffic. So you have to bear with us as we edit through this video to get you some of the more active video rather than just sitting in traffic. But we find some open road to test it on for sure. So not to go in and out of every feature this car has, but one thing we do notice in a difference between the Model 3 Performance that we recently drove versus this Model Y is the audio. It's got a good sounding audio, but it's lacking a lot of bass. So if you're someone who likes the bass sound, you're not going to get a lot of that in this car. I don't think you really buy this car for the radio, but that's just something to note, something that stuck out to us. But as far as the pep goes, this isn't even a performance, but it's got a good bit of pep, and you hit the gas, it really does want to go. I personally noticed a slight difference in the gas pedal. It feels heavier, and I know why they do that. It does give you a sense for when you're letting off the gas and the regen, so you get more feel out of the pedal than you would a gas car. But it is heavier, and you do have to push it hard to get it to go. But when it goes, it does throw you back in the seat with that famous electric feel of a torquey motor, Insta-Torque. But it is very nice, and I think really if you didn't know there was a performance model, I don't think you'd be disappointed with the performance of the dual motor. I think it's plenty preppy, and for an SUV, it's got plenty of power to pull out into traffic, get yourself out of sticky situations. I think it's just overall a pretty good car. I will say that this interior, I know it's very similar to all the other Teslas, but I don't know why it just feels like it's put together better than previous models. And you know, a lot of that could just be to Tesla having experience now, being around for 10 years more, and they've just figured out how to do everything a little bit better. But I'm pretty impressed with this car. I think it's come a long ways, and I know many other people have already said it, but I think this is going to be a big hit for them. And after driving it and experiencing it, you can definitely see why. I'd shoot some more outside shots for you guys, but as you can tell, it's raining pretty heavy, and I don't want to get soaked too bad. So at this point, you can see that we've put a little bit of time in driving the vehicle, so we have a pretty good feel for it. And you can see on the screen, we're going around a big on-turn onto the freeway here. And I was able to push this car pretty hard with the weight being so low in the car as it is. You can really tell that it's hooked to the ground. The weight is low in the car. It's got a lot of torque to it, and it's really planted as far as driving feel goes. So it's a lot of fun to whip this thing around and to merge onto traffic. You don't have any fear about it being slow or having an acceleration problem or anything of that nature. It just hooks right in and goes without a problem. So it feels a lot more like the S, if you've driven an S, Model S, than it does the Model 3. The Model 3 does feel like a smaller car, and this is somewhere in the middle. Now, I haven't driven a Model X, so I can't compare it to a Model X, so I would have to leave that to someone else who has driven every single one of these cars to make that comparison. But having driven the S and then going back to the Model 3 and then driving this Model Y, I would say that my personal preference would actually be this Model Y. Now, the inner race car driver in me wants to have the Model 3 because it's a little faster, and I'd love to take it out and do Auto X and things of that nature with it. But then this Model Y is just so much more convenient and so much more functional with the added space in it. And to be honest, my wife actually likes the Y a lot better, which plays a part in any car buying decision in this household for sure. But it's just something that I would probably gravitate towards the Y for the extra size. It doesn't feel like you really lose that much in speed in it. And, you know, why not get a Y and take it autocrossing? Why not? It's got plenty of pep. It's a lot of fun to drive. And for me, I love the aspect of the new technology that Tesla brings to the game here. All that little techie stuff in the screen and using that stuff is really nice to have, and it's nice to see. So again, just to recap this, the Model Ys do start at a range of 316 miles for the dual motor long range version. Now, when you go to the performance version, it drops it down a little bit to 315 mile range when you do the performance. Now, Tesla being Tesla has a performance upgrade on top of the performance car. And when you select that, it drops your range down to 280 miles. So you do lose some added range there, but that upgrade increases your top speed from 145 miles per hour to 155 miles per hour. It also includes the 21-inch Uber turbine wheels, You get the performance brakes with the performance upgrade and a slightly lowered suspension, and you get the aluminum alloy pedals. So well, that upgrade to the performance is an upgrade. Currently they are not charging for it. Now today they're not charging for it, but Tesla being Tesla, tomorrow they might. And that being said, again, if you go the current long range model, you're looking at a purchase price of $52,990. If you got the free white color long range dual motor with the 19-inch Gemini wheels, you don't get the tow hitch, and you don't opt for the white interior, and you don't opt for the optional 7-seat interior, that would be your base price. Now, if you're adding the wheels onto this car, the wheels are an additional $2,000 for the black wheel upgrade, which is what happens to be on this blue car that we're test driving. If you want to add the tow hitch, that's a $1,000 option also. And I've read that there are some aftermarket options for that you can get cheaper. Now the interior, if you want to go from the black to the white interior, that's another $1,000 option upgrade. And if you want that 7-seater interior, that's another $3,000 upgrade to have. And that seat upgrade is currently not available. They're claiming that that'll be available in 2021. And then, of course, the infamous full self-driving capability. Now that it is July, that is a $8,000 upgrade if you want that package. So those are some things to consider as you're going through and optioning up this car as you start tagging all of those things on. So if we go with, let's say, the most expensive color, a red car, and we do the long range, so we're not doing a performance option here, and we do the black wheels, and we throw in the tow hitch, and we do the white interior, right there we're already up to $58,990. So if we go back and we take a look at a performance model, now with the performance model you get the upgraded wheels, and let's say we're going to do the performance upgrade, which is free, so we get a little bit less range now, but we're going to get those nice wheels, we're going to get the performance brakes, the lowered suspension, and we take off the tow hitch, because if you're going performance, why do you need a tow hitch? And we go back to a black interior, then you're looking at $62,990 out the door for this car. Well, I'm sorry, I had the red option. If we go to the white option, you're looking at $60,990 for the base, and basically getting all the options that we just optioned up the long range dual motor with. So in my opinion, why not just go with the long range or with the performance package and get the nice little upgrades there. Sure, you're sacrificing a little bit of range, but for me, I'm more of a performance minded driver, so I want to have those things even if you don't use them. And I could build a strong argument against myself here that the dual motor long range is all the car you need and is a great option to go. It's probably the smarter option, but I don't always make smart decisions. So don't do what I do, because I tend to go for the fastest option I can get. So and I know a lot of guys out there think like me. So my wife would sit here and poke me in the side of my head and tell me, you don't need that. Why are you going to pay extra money for that? But, you know, I don't always make the smartest of decisions, but I sure enjoy my decisions. Again, the Tesla Model Y is an awesome car, and we think it's going to do better than the Model 3 in the long run. It's just a little bit more practical, which makes it a little easier to pull the trigger on it, in our opinion. And it's a lot cheaper than an X or a Model S, for sure. How's the back seat, Wyatt?
Okay.
Plenty of room?
Yeah.
How about for your feet?
Yep.
Lots of leg room for 9-year-olds?
Yep.
How do you like the headrest? What about the armrest?
Wish I had storage.
You wish it had storage? What about the storage on the door?
Storage on the door? It's okay.
Is there some behind the seats?
Just so.
Yeah, there's cubby right here.
The brakes.
Alright, so here's your Model 3. I do like the new black wheels that they put out on these. They're pretty sharp. This is a brand new one waiting for someone's pickup. And then here we have a white Model Y. I want to show you guys this. Parked right next to an X. But you can see they're really similar in the way they look. The Y is just a little bit smaller. And this must be someone's car also waiting to get picked up. This has the normal wheels rather than the black wheels on it. But I love this white interior. It's really sharp. Again, these wheels are interesting with the black inserts on it. Kind of like that. But from a size comparison, see the difference of the Y versus an X. When you see them side by side, I think that's very helpful to see for a lot of people considering or cross shopping these. But the price difference on them is much different. So hopefully we're able to provide you guys some content here to give you some more information on the Model Y if you're considering purchasing one of these or picking one of these up. And hopefully this was useful for you. If you like this video and like to see more of those videos, please subscribe to our channel. We'd appreciate that. If you want to get some up-to-the-minute updates on stuff, follow us at Quick Shifts on Instagram. But again, thank you for watching. Leave your comments down below and stay tuned for some more content here in the future.